No.
Speaking of that, though, and knock on wood here, I haven't received a SMS scam from a fake tolling agency in a long time. I mean, I hope we're at the tail end of that.
We're doing something right.
I mean, I get them from FedEx all the time, and I don't think that
now it's FedEx and UPS.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I have, but I still order and get my Amazon packages every day.
Amazon still shows up every day. So.
This episode is brought to you by CSG. CSG's SaaS solutions optimize every step of the tolling journey, from billing and payments to customer engagement, helping agencies maximize revenue through smarter, more integrated experiences. Make more, save more, and do more. Visit csgi.com.
Welcome back to the country's leading transportation and tolling podcast, Toll Talk. All right, now, that might be a little bit of a stretch since there's only probably one of us in the whole nation that actually do this, but it's still great being number one. And so I'm really excited to have you on. Again, I'm your host, Alex Fakeri, and it's fun today because we're bringing you something a little different. We're changing things up, and I have a new host with me today. And don't fret if you like Kaylee. Kaylee's not gone, but we are excited to have Christine Korenek. And Christine is from CSG, and thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
I was really looking forward to this, having somebody on my side, like a teammate here that we can attack our guest today.
Oh, absolutely.
And just really, I feel like we're standing steadfast with what we have to offer him. But so let's just, before we get into bringing our guest on, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and let the world know about Christine.
Okay, so I'm from New York. Back in 2013, I moved from New York to Houston to work as a consultant, working on technology operation projects that helped improve customer experience and customer service.
Okay.
So now currently I'm working on the sales team, CSG, with Pat, and we're using that past experience to help improve customer communications for our clients.
All right, that's awesome. And I think this is a great, that you have that experience in the customer experience, customer journey. And you mentioned Pat, but let's go ahead and tell everybody, welcome to the show, Pat.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Christine. Glad to be here. I can't believe you guys invited me back for my second spot on the show. So.
Well, we felt bad, we wanted to, do our good for the country, so we brought you on, and I'm just kidding. No, it's
Perfect.
fantastic to have you on.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And we haven't seen each other, and so I wasn't able to make it out to the Denver show, but you guys were out there having a great time, and it's great to have you on here and see you in person.
Great to be back in Baltimore and be sitting here with you guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Pat, tell us what's going on in the world. Tell us what's happening with you.
Yeah, so since the last time I was on the show, I think it was about a little over a year ago, right? Mm-hmm. CSG was really trying to find our place in the industry, really trying to make a name for ourselves. Since then, we've added several new programs. We added Christine to the team, so our team's growing. It's been a busy year, but a very good year.
So. Okay,
so
great.
Pat, for listeners that may not be actually familiar with CSG, can you just give us a quick background?
Yeah. So CSG is a global customer engagement and revenue management company, and our role is to help customers deliver better customer experiences and ultimately to run their businesses more efficiently. Mm-hmm. We work with agencies and enterprises to really streamline the transactional communications, help them with their digital customer correspondence as well, with the ultimate goal to collect revenue more efficiently.
Okay. Now, so again, I wasn't in Denver, but I heard that this was a really good, it was a great event.
Yeah.
And I heard you had an active role out there. And so, could you maybe talk a little bit about the customer service roundtable that you led?
First of all, being back in Denver, before I live in Michigan now, but before Michigan, I lived in Denver for 10 years. So Denver is like my home away from home.
Okay.
So being back in the Mile High City was phenomenal for me. It was great to be there with all the friends and family of IBTTA. I did get the opportunity to host a customer experience roundtable. So we had a couple of folks from the agencies. We had some vendors. Really good discussion on the customer experience and how we need to start thinking and reframing the customer experience in our industry. Really the key takeaways for me from that was, we got to solve issues quickly. We have to be proactive versus reactive. We have to foster trust. and obviously make payments easy for our drivers.
Right. Now, Christine, were you in that
Yes,
roundtable
I
as well?
was.
What'd you think? How did Pat do?
It was great. It
Okay.
was good. Yeah. Come back, make fun of him a little bit, but it's what we do.
That's good.
But it was funny because when I got back, I actually signed up through my water utility company out in Houston for text messaging to pay my bill. Last month, I got a text saying, pay bill now. It's $143, whatever. Text pay now. So I texted pay now, done, and my bill was paid.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was simple, easy.
See, and that's the dynamic conversations we need to be having. And so now I'm sad I missed out on the whole thing, but that's really cool. And I think we're seeing more of that, coming around, and you see it in the other companies, the other organizations. But traditionally, the tolling and transportation sector is always not behind, but they can't rapidly. Well, okay, we might say behind, but you can't always be the bleeding edge when it comes to dealing with such a wide, vast customer base, right? You kind of have to take a different lead, but it's great to see us catching up. I guess.
Well,
Most
I
people
mean,
would say
the
that.
customer base is the same, though, right?
Yeah.
I drive the toll road. I have a water bill.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to pay things easy.
Yeah.
Apple Pay has been around for 10 years.
Yes,
Like
that's
and it's
10 years.
A lot of agencies still don't have that capability.
That's crazy.
I think, and I think that example really ties back into the roundtable, right? Being transparent with your communications, meeting the customer in their channel of choice. Obviously, I'm assuming, Christine, like you had opted into that beforehand, right? So they had your permission to
Yes.
text you.
Yes.
They had a stored payment for you. They met you in the channel of choice, and they made it really easy and frictionless. And that's really one thing that we heard in the roundtable is, how do we make it easy to submit payments and remove the friction, right? If this experience, kind of the way you described it was, couple of text messages and your bill is paid.
Yeah.
Easy, frictionless. You could do it while you're waiting for your kid in the pickup line or on the soccer field, wherever you're at. It's not going to interrupt what you're doing in your daily life.
Yeah.
And I think that is key. And really the message that came out of the roundtable is, how do we just make it easy for our drivers to pay their bill, to pay their invoice?
And it's surprising. I don't know how you both feel. I mean, I'm sure we have a similar frame of mind on this, but why do we make it so difficult? And I think usually it's because people don't think about, organizations don't think about, they go, what's been there? This is the way we've always done it, right? And so it doesn't mean it's the right way.
Right.
And so I am encouraged to just say, in multiple industries that I deal with on a daily basis outside this show is, you see a lot of different verticals. And so you see people starting to say, okay, I don't have to have one merchant gateway. I may have multiple to do different
Right.
things for different
Yes.
roles. And that's okay. Like that's perfectly fine. And some work better than others. But, I think it's important though, is to me, and I don't know if maybe you can share some thoughts on this. But when I start thinking about, money, part of the relationship or confidence I get is in taking transactions, right? And being able to know, okay, I paid my water utility bill, right? It's done. So it does make it interesting.
And it's I have to pay my water bill. Otherwise, I don't get water, right? So
Right.
it's like this is a service that they're providing. If I don't pay my tolling bill, I could still drive the toll road, but it's like we need to make it easier for customers because they're so used to, you just drive up. You used to be able to pay the tolling person and then the gate would go up and then you would just go. So I think the shift, why it's moving more towards, customer service, because now it's actually a service being provided, not just you pay the agent and then the arm ramp, the arm goes up and then you drive through.
I think a lot of it has to do with the state of the industry, right? And the reason why we haven't thought about things like this before is we didn't have to when every toll road had toll booths.
Yeah.
Right? The conversion to all electronic tolling has really forced us to think about the customer experience differently because we don't have that instant mechanism, the toll booth, to
Right.
collect the revenue. So it completely changed it. In fact, I just drove down to Chicago last week and went through several different toll booths on the Illinois Tollway, Indiana toll roads, interacted with toll booth operators, which was a great experience, by the way.
Right,
It just
there you go.
reminded me of what it used to be like. And now
Yes.
so many agencies around the country have gone to all electronic tolling. They're relying so heavily on the printed document, the digital communication that's going out to customers to collect that revenue. And it's become a challenge, but that's why it's so critical to start thinking about the customer experience and putting it first. Because if we make it easy and frictionless, it will improve collection rates.
Well, and I think we need to remember that customer service is also receiving payments and, not just providing the roadways and everything else like that. But, it's also getting customer satisfaction is, I bet you're comfortable now that your utility bill's paid, right?
Yep.
You're happy. You don't have that stress, lingering over you the whole time. So that's good. So let's talk a little bit about how, agencies, and you talk about, change, right, with cashless tolling, looking for that modernization, if you will. Can we discuss that a little bit, and why is it important to have that clear communication?
Yeah, it's so important. It kind of goes back to one of the points in the roundtable, right? Transparency. That piece of communication, whether it's being delivered in the mailbox or on your mobile device or in your email inbox, it has to be clear and concise and very transparent of the charges. I mean,
right.
You think about driving down a toll road without an account, and it could be 4 weeks, could be 6 weeks,
Sure.
could be 2 months before that mail piece actually reaches the right person, the right driver, right? And by that time, the driver's like, well, are these charges accurate? They're questioning it, right? So by providing as much detail concisely as you can on that invoice to give the customer the confidence that, oh yeah, I do remember driving on that road. I will take this simple action to pay my invoice.
Sure.
That's really the kind of the secret sauce, right? And that's why it's so important to make sure that all of your communication channels are not only they're consistent first and foremost, but the language that you're using on those communication pieces is clear and concise.
Yeah, and I would also say, expeditious, right? Like
Absolutely.
Get it out. Let's not talk about 4 weeks for you to get a bill or whatever it may be,
or 4 months,
or 4 months. Yeah,
Like,
very true.
Yeah.
I think that's and to that point, like, figure out and hire the vendors, and there's resources out there to help with that, right? I mean, before the conversion to all electronic tolling, I mean, the customers that we work with and the agencies that we work with necessarily didn't even have, SLAs or KPIs on their documents because it wasn't critical to their business. They were collecting the revenue at the toll booths. But now that it is, they're asking us questions like, what should my SLA be on a mail piece? It should be same day or next day. So there's resources out there in the industry to help agencies develop and design these programs to be more efficient, to make sure that the communications are being delivered on time.
Okay.
And by using digital communications, it also speeds up the process, right? Like we know a lot of agencies must send a mail, print a document, but sending the email or sending the text to be like, you can even like, hey, a bill is on your way, or you just, know, like something to just initiate it so them to know like, okay, or they could be proactive and go pay that first before the mail document comes.
Yeah, you're setting their expectations, right?
Yes.
And so then that's not a surprise, and it could be good news. It could be reassuring news, right? Know the role. So I'd say that kind of leads us into, when you look at that digital interaction, billing and customers and setting the expectation, it kind of starts to make me wonder, should the industry be more proactive, and are they being proactive? I mean, you guys are out there, you deal with a lot of agencies. I mean, what are you guys seeing?
Yeah, I think being as proactive as we can would help tremendously, right? But what does that really come down to? Is it
it's very whimsical for me to see be proactive, but like, what does that mean?
But I think there's technology coming and it's here already that could help with that, like the connected car, right? As you're driving through the gantries or you're driving on the roadway and you go under a gantry, the car pops up on your infotainment screen like, hey, this was this much, or this was the charge that's going to be on your next invoice, et cetera. So I do think that we are becoming more proactive, and maybe how do we leverage data to help us with that? Right? To predict behavior, target our messaging, et cetera.
Yeah, I think that's good. Now, so just as I'm thinking about this here, do you think are the agencies that you're talking to, and the ones that are actually have taken action, are they actually being proactive, or are they still being reactive to the problem? Like, and are there any stars in the out there that are really rocking it?
Yeah, and I think going back to that roundtable in Denver, I think we heard from the 2 or 3 agencies that were sitting there, and they're telling us that they're being reactive right now because they don't really know how to become proactive. They don't know how to leverage the data that we do have. There's so much data out there. They don't know how to leverage the data to start becoming proactive, and so that's where a lot of companies out there, a lot of vendors out there can help with that.
I also think the tech scams have frightened a lot of agencies to not want to push forward, but I really think that they need to just move forward, educate the customer, let them know that these are, you need to pay your bill this way to help expedite and give people the channel that they want to pay their payments in.
You know, Christine, I actually think that's a phenomenal point. And, you know, I think one of the reasons the tolling industry was attacked is because it's so behind the times in technology. Nobody is out there being proactive in these things. And so it was easy pickings, right? You know, like shooting fish in a barrel. Like they're not going to catch up. And guess what? That's the net result. It took off like wildfire. And, you know, they had to get the FBI involved, and, you know, all the countries, not just states, are involved with this now. And it's because, again, we weren't being proactive. We weren't adopting the technology. And, you know, they knew it, right?
Pat and I were at a collection conference last week. They are using text messaging, emails first. They're collecting money. So it's like tolling agencies then move their uncollected debt to a collection agency, and they're using the text messaging first. So why not just join that and get ahead and be able to send those text messages and emails first?
Yeah. Speaking of that, though, and knock on wood here, I haven't received a SMS scam from a fake tolling agency in a long time. I mean, I hope we're at the tail end of that.
We're doing something right. Yeah.
I mean, I get them from FedEx all the time, and I don't think that
now it's FedEx and UPS.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I have, but I still order and get my Amazon packages every day.
Amazon still shows up every day. So.
Well, I'm not getting any DHL ones, which it was always the clue to me that wasn't going to be a real shipping one.
So I hope that now that it's dwindling down, right, we do start having more confidence in our digital channels to really help with collecting revenue, communicating to our customers, setting that expectation, being proactive, being transparent through other channels besides print.
Now a message from our sponsor.
The business of tolling is complex. Trusted by the world's most respected brands, CSG transforms every customer interaction, communications, billing, payments, and more into a smarter, more profitable outcome. Make more, save more, do more. CSG, solving tolling's toughest challenges simply.
So, Pat, data, right? You mentioned, and it's a really interesting way you said it, is that the agencies don't know what to do with the data, right? But they have to take some action with it, right? They need to do something with it. And so I guess the question is, you know, how do you get them to be a little bit more proactive about it? How can they anticipate the customer's needs?
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right, though, Alex, going back to that. Like, I think they're just overwhelmed by the amount of data that we do have. We have so much data on our drivers, especially with AET, that where do we start? But it's taking something small, taking a small use case.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Right? Analyzing the data, understanding maybe we can target these customers in a geographic area, or maybe we see this type of customer continuously violating, right? Or not paying their bill or being delinquent, ending up in collections. And then design treatments and customer journeys.
A persona. Develop a path and figure out how to address them.
Communicate to them differently. Change the messaging on the document. Something's not working with that customer. Something maybe is not resonating, but just tweaking the smallest thing can make the biggest difference.
Yeah, we were working with one client where we were looking where they are mailing their invoices by zip code, right? You see like 500 invoices are going here a day. Okay, so then they're going to just go do a pop-up, educate their consumers, tell them how much they'll save if they sign up and get a transponder. Save this amount instead of paying postpaid.
Wow, that's a great way. That's a great way to use data. I mean, I love that. That's fantastic, because then you're not only just increasing brand awareness, but product awareness, and increasing your customer service, you know, your CSAT scores at the same time.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think
great.
some of the hesitancy with that, you know, using the data to communicate to customers to really give that customer the confidence that you know them, there might be some hesitation there because it feels maybe Big Brother-ish or whatever. But that's what today's customers expect.
Yes, they do.
They expect you to know them, to talk to them like you know them, to have that relationship with them. Like 15 years ago, that would be quote unquote creepy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now, if you're not doing it, you're behind the 8 ball.
Well, and I've said this before, is that, you know, customers' expectations of service are set by every other company they deal with, not just us, right?
Absolutely.
So when you go to Delta, Southwest, Chick-fil-A, wherever you're going, they set customer experience standards that we're expected to, you know, play catch up with, and it creates some barriers that we have to kind of overcome a little bit.
Going back to Christine's example about her water provider, right? They're on par with the Apples, the Amazons of the world, and great for them. Now let's catch up. Let's help some of these agencies catch up to that.
Yeah, no, that's good. So now I'm thinking about how do we start doing things quicker, right? Because I think what you mentioned is being proactive. taking action, right? And so I think sometimes we do this. I think time kills all deals, right? Every action that we don't take today creates a bigger barrier with customer service. It creates all these issues. So we need to do things more expeditiously, right? You know, speed, right? Because people grow confidence based upon how fast things move and how, can Christine get on there, pay her bill, and it's done, and she's got the peace of mind. Now that company is, you can pretty much trust the utility companies for the most part, but it's okay. It's done. I know I can move on with my day, and that's a level of customer satisfaction as well. I would say. So, what do we do for embracing speed?
Yeah, well, speed is the new loyalty.
Okay.
Right? And
I like that. Speed is the new loyalty. Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to get a tattoo.
Coin that
tattoo
phrase.
of it. Speed is the new loyalty.
Speed. There you go. Tattoos. That's what we need for the next IBTTA.
Don't play with me. I'm actually going to get 10 tattoos.
Temporary.
You know what? Yes, we should do that.
Right here.
Right here. This day.
The 14th.
That's right.
I am committed.
All right. So we'll have a campaign. Speed is the new loyalty. And we'll get T-shirts and tattoos. Like we'll go all out, and everybody's gonna be asking questions about it. So you heard it here first on this show. That's where speed is the new loyalty. Come the next tech IBTTA tech event. That's what you're gonna say. Speed is the new loyalty. That's a good campaign.
There you go.
I like that.
There you go.
Did I come up with that? Who came up with that?
I think you came up with that. No. I'm just stealing it.
That's good.
But it's true, right? I mean, we have to meet customers where they're at. We can't interrupt thanks to social media.
Yeah.
Customers want instant gratification. Everything is instant. Everything needs to be at my fingertips whenever I want it. And we have to provide that to our customers. I don't know what Christine was doing when she got that text from her water company, but she was probably doing something else.
I was on the call with
Hopefully
Pat.
she wasn't driving.
I was in a meeting. I was like, hey, now? Okay, thank God.
There you go.
Now I know what she's really doing. But it was quick. It was fast, it was seamless, it was frictionless, and we need to figure out how to. I think there's a lot of barriers in our industry, especially with the non-account holders, right? Sending the images, getting the license plate number, going to the DMV, if they're out of state, going to several DMVs to identify that driver. What do we need to do as an industry to speed up that process?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like that is causing so much pain and really attributing to the high uncollected revenue.
Yeah. And I think to extend on that or to build on that, it's about the agencies need to pick up the phone first, right?
Yes.
They need to take that first action to, get there. And so, but I guess for many of them, how do they know when the timing is right? How do they go about doing that?
Right.
And how do they speed up solving customer issues as well, right? Because that's also a big problem sometimes too. It could take weeks or months to have the issue resolved, and it's like, how do you speed up solving some of those issues?
That's a great point.
Yeah, and I think that's my past life worked in call centers, so I'm very close and feel connected to customer service. But it's really, making sure that the agents have the right tools in front of them, making sure that the agents are being proactively served up information. So when Pat calls in or Alex or Christine calls into the call center, that IVR should know who's calling and should serve up the agent the call history, the chat history, the case log, the case management history, whatever it is to help that agent get to that customer's issue and resolve it quickly. So it's not only being proactive with our customers and our drivers, but it's also our employees. So how do we take all this and improve not only the customer experience, but the employee experience as well, which will ultimately
Well, now what we're
results
talking,
with CSAT.
well, what you're now talking about is from leadership forcing a transparency model, of course, across the organizations, right? And not just as the vendors and service providers, but also as the agencies, right? Because you can't communicate or send a message to a customer or do it with confidence if you don't know the direction you're heading. So I think that clear transparency. So in my mind, I understand transparency, but can you maybe explain why it's so important in tolling communications for customers?
I think you just said it right there, right? It's the why. It's anything in my life, whether it's professional, personal, I want to understand the reason behind something. And so it's giving our customers the why. Particularly, and I feel like when I look on these message boards or I hear from agencies, it's customers think our toll rates are too high.
Right.
Show them where the money's going.
Yes.
Give them that insight, right? When I was driving down to Chicago, I went through several different toll booths, as I mentioned, and I'm like, I love paying these because I know what it's funding. I know it's funding our future. It's funding our infrastructure. But does somebody outside of our industry really know that and grasp that concept? I don't think so.
No, there's
So let's
a lot
start-
of misconception
Right.
that people think that, oh, we paid the toll over 20 years. We just stop paying it now because
Because
it
the
should
road,
be put o-
the
paid off.
original
Yeah,
construction is
yeah.
paid off.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't think about the maintenance, the infrastructure.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy.
The free towing, the free
Yes.
tire
Yes.
changing.
Yes,
the
gas to
safety
those
of it.
lanes and
The
yeah.
technology that they put to make sure there's no wrong way drivers, right? Like they're making
Right.
sure drivers are safe.
Well, you're bringing, and even provide that next level of service as time
Yes.
goes on,
Yes.
right? It does take, okay, we're going to put new SMS messaging, we're going to do this or that to make you happier. Okay, well, that comes from somewhere, right? It's not just a magic wand that makes it
Right.
happen. So Pat, like we've been dancing around and talking about payments, right? So I guess the question is, when we talk about having ease of payments, and what does it look like today?
What does it look like today? It looks like there's a lot of friction, right? You get an invoice in the mail and you have to log in. You have to maybe create an account, put in your credit card information. There's a lot of friction there. So I think the ideal scenario would be to remove that friction and make it a frictionless experience, similar to what you just described, right? Just make it seamless and easy so you're not interrupting the customer. The customer has a very short attention span. You have to capture them in that moment. So give them multiple options, give them digital options, give them traditional options. There's a lot of traditionalists out there that want to pay by check, want to call and talk to somebody to collect that payment. But then on the flip side, there's the customers and the generations that don't want to talk to somebody.
Sure.
They want to just be able to text or get on a chat bot and submit a payment.
Well, I think that is basically getting to the customer when their pain point is the highest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Timing, make it frictionless, make it easy.
Yeah. Good.
So how do you think toll agencies can learn from different industries when it comes to convenience and user experience?
Good question.
I mean, from our heritage at CSG, right, we also serve telecom, cable, satellite companies. We helped them kind of go through this digital transformation 10, 15 years ago. And that's kind of where tolling's at. We're starting this journey now, right? So it's taking those lessons from other industries like your utility provider. First of all, let me back up. It's actually understanding that we are a service provider.
Yeah.
We're service providers in this industry, right?
Yeah.
We offer great service, and we have to take those lessons from those other service providers that they're doing business with, whether that be your HSD provider, YouTube TV, Amazon.
Yeah.
Take those lessons, and just try to replicate that model, but start small. It's overwhelming. You think about, I got to compete with the Amazons of the world. That's true, but you don't have to get there today.
Sure.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
And typically, though, when you're ordering from Amazon, you're getting something that you want. I mean, I drive the toll road all
good
the
point.
time, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People aren't usually like, I can't wait to go pay to drive the road today. So it's like, you need to make it as easy as possible so they're happy to do it. It's like you're saying, we have to change the perspective to be like, it's a service now. It's what the consumers need and want.
That's great. I love that. It is a service. It's an on-demand service that they have access to, they can control.
And I don't know if you remember, Alex, but when we were talking to Greg from Thea, he was really talking about like their new expressway they're building down there in Florida, being part of the community. They were going to do dog parks under the roadway.
That's right.
Really just humanizing the brand. And I think that's so critical. Humanize the brand, be a part of the community, right? And I think that I loved when he was telling us about that. It was great.
Yeah. Well, as we start to get this wrapped up, this great show, and I really, again, thank you both for being on the show. I just want to ask like a couple last questions here. So, when you think about, you mentioned earlier connected vehicles, right? And the payments that go along with them, what as a realistic near-term opportunity, or even maybe long-term, what is the vision there? Like, I mean, especially from CSG's vantage point.
Yeah, I'm really excited over the next couple of years to see us grow our digital presence as an industry, right? To really start offering more new age payment options, adopting new technologies. I'm really excited to see what the connected car will bring. I know that there's several manufacturers out there that are actually integrating the toll module into the car today, and I think that's going to open up a lot of doors. I know that our friend JJ down at NCTA is doing a ton of things and kind of pioneering in that space,
pioneering that one
innovating.
for sure.
So I just can't wait to continue to see the innovation because I think we're at the cusp and it's a really, really exciting time to be part of the industry.
I think so too. And it's just the tip of the iceberg.
It is.
We really don't know how much higher it goes from there. What else it's going to open up?
Right.
So if there is one thing that you could change in the tolling industry, for the experience for tomorrow, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. Specific to the customer experience?
Yeah.
I would eliminate the need to go through the DMV lookup process to be able to speed up those communications. I think it would be.
Trying to change legislation.
That's exactly what I'm doing here
Is
today.
it Pat for mayor or Pat for president?
I love that. That's another T-shirt we're going to wear. Pat for president.
No, I think removing some of the red tape from our processes as an industry.
That's great.
That, has just built up over the years and made it difficult for us as an industry to effectively do our jobs. Yeah. Since the model has changed so much over the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, great. No, I appreciate that. Well, I definitely thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Christine, you've been a great co-host.
Thank you.
I love having you on
Thank
here
you.
today. This is good. This is good. Kaylee better watch out. I
Don't worry, Kaylee.
Don't tell her that yet, but no, definitely. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Pat, thank you very much.
Thanks for
Christine,
having me.
again, thanks for being here on the show. And yes, so we will look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Toll Talk, where we bring you the industry tolling tea. And until then, enjoy, and we'll talk to you soon.